Have you ever had this happen to you? Nice running board. Carpet's coming loose on this one. And last time I went fishing, I had to dip this one up in a dip net because it fell off. And so here's how you fix it. You go to Lowe's and you buy some carpet. I bought 12 inch or a foot by 12 foot. And then I took a 2x4 and I measured. I'm actually going to make it longer because that's actually a foot long 2x4 that's on there. I'm going to do 14 inches. And so I'm going to cut my carpet 16 inches so I have 2 inches to overlap. And then I'm going to put my carpet on and staple it down with my stapler. And I'm going to put the 2x4 on the carpet, fold it over, and put it together. So y'all hang out and check it out. So I'm going to start off by cutting my 2x4. This is a pressure treated 2x4. It's like I said, I was going to cut it at 14 inches, so it's 14 inches. I'm cutting it at 14 inches. And now that I got my 2x4 cut at 14 inches, I am going, so I need a 12 inch by 16 inch piece of carpet. So I'm going to cut this carpet 12 inches by 16 inches. When I went to Lowe's, I bought 1 foot by 12 foot piece of indoor-outdoor carpet. They sold me a 20 3/4 inch by 12 foot piece of carpet. So it's 12 foot long, but it's 20 3/4 inches wide. So I'm gonna have to cut it both directions, but that's fine. And here's how I do that. So I got my tape measure out, and I need a 16 inch piece. Well, and actually, yeah, I want a 16 inch piece here. And I've got a piece of plywood under here that I'm going to use. And I'm going to take my square, framing square, I'm going to lay it down on the carpet, and I'm going to bump it over to 16 inches and get my edges lined up. If you're off a little bit, it really does not make that big of a difference. You'll just have that much more overlap. And then I'm going to take my box cutter and cut the carpet right down the edge of the square. And so there's my carpet. Now, like I said, it needs to be, we're going to cut again in just a second, but it needs to be 12 inches in length. Because, well, actually in width, because we're at 16 inches this way. We need to be at 12 inches this way, or a foot, however you want to call that. So we're going to use our square again. Go to get it to 12 inches. That's 13. That is 12 inches right there. Making sure that it's square. We're going to cut it again. Of course, we have plenty of extra if we mess it up. And so there is our piece. This gets tossed to the side. That's the extra that Lowe's donated to us. And so now my board's going to sit on there like that. Now, you can glue it if you would like. I can guarantee you that in 2 or 3 years, this board is going to rot and it's going to come apart again. And you're going to have to replace it. And if it's glued, it's going to be harder to get the carpet off to use to make you a diagram out of. Of course, I know what size it is, so it really doesn't matter to me, but I'm not going to put any glue on there. because like I said, I pretty much know that it's going to fall off in a couple of years. But I do have a nailer. I'm using a 1/2 inch, not a nailer, stapler. I have 1/2 inch staples in the gun, and basically I'm going to put. I kind of evened it up on both ends. I'm going to put 3 down through there. Then I'm going to fold the other piece over and do about 3 more. Then I'm going to fold my end up and do one on the end. Watch your fingers. Hammer that in a little bit, make sure it's in good. And do another one, another fold right there. You can put as many staples as you feel like putting in there in the screwdriver. I'm brave, I'm just not. Oops. I'm brave, I'm just not quite brave enough to hit that with my finger there. And I got pretty close. I'm going to try to, yeah. And then I'm going to hammer those staples in. Then I'm going to fold this end over and hold it down with a screwdriver. And, whoops, missed. Kind of like that. That gets it to holding for a second. Then I can hit it again. Like I said, you can put as many staples in it as you like. And that's the nice end that you come up with. Same thing on this end. Fold it over and kind of get it a little bit tight there. Put a staple in it. Oops. There we go. Hammer those down. Make sure they're in good. Fold that end over. Do some sideways action. Screwdriver again. Hold that piece down. Keep picking up the wrong hammer. Got pretty close on that one. That's a good one right there. Then the same thing over here. Make sure all the staples are in good. All the extras won't hurt. That one came back out for good measure. A couple more there. I'm going to put 3 down the smooth side that's going to go up against my boat. I think there's enough carpet there that it's going to save the boat from the staples. So there you go. Now I've got my board back. So step back a little bit. So the board's put on with lag screws. I'm going to put the smooth side of the carpet in towards the boat. I'm going to put the side of the carpet that has the seam on it out towards the trailer. I'm going to use 2 lag screws that go through there. I went with the stainless steel ones. They were $1.67 a piece. I have 2 of them. Got them from Lowe's. Basically, all you have to do is go over to your trailer, line it up, get them started, and use the muscle that you have to put them in. You can drill a pilot hole if you need to. So while we're doing it, we're going to go ahead and do both of them. You can see that the carpet's wore out on this one as well. So we're going to go ahead and do both of the side ones. That way they match, because matching is important. That 2x4 I took off was split, but I mean that's what was on there was pressure treated 2x4s. So we're putting 1 screw on. That'll kind of hold the board in place while we drill the hole for the other one, the second screw. And we're using the same lag screws on this side because we didn't lose them. Line them up. Give us a little hole to start with. Definitely want to be careful because you don't want to go through there and hit that boat. There's the screw right there. It would be a bad day if you put one of those lag screws through that boat hole. Don't think that would be covered under warranty. I'm not sure. Pretty sure though. They're both on there. Don't tighten it up too much because you don't want to break it loose. Good job.